everybody. Welcome back to Pandemic Gaga's cooking show. It's so nice to see you today. And today we are going to make baked ziti. Baked ziti. And so, let me just tell you what you're going to need. You're going to need some ziti. It's a pasta noodle, okay? And you're going to need 16 ounces of it. So this one box was 16 ounces. So, you're going to actually boil this just like you would spaghetti or elbow macaroni or whatever. And that's what's in this pot right here. You're going to boil it. I actually added salt to my water before I added my ziti. And you're going to boil it. I'm going to recommend 8 minutes. Now, if I'm cooking spaghetti noodles or something like that, I always go with 10 minutes. But because this ziti is also going to be baked, it can be a little less done in the boiling process, and it will finish up in the baking process, okay? So 8 minutes on 16 ounces of ziti noodles. So that's what's going on here, and in about 6.5 minutes, you're going to hear my timer go off, and that's when that'll come out. We'll pour it, and we will rinse it off, or you can not rinse it off, whatever's your preference. I usually rinse it off because it stops the cooking right then, and I don't want my noodles to get mushy. So I will rinse it off with cold water and let it drain. Also, you're going to need 1 pound of hamburger meat, and you're going to need to brown it. So I've already done that. 1 pound of hamburger meat browned. Now, you can also take, well, let me start. You need 1 small onion. And I just had 1 big onion, so I just cut some of it off. And this, I'm going to start chopping this. But what I was going to say about the meat is that you can also use, instead of ground beef, you can use like Italian sausage and brown that if you would like to. Or you can go half and half, beef and sausage. But whatever you use, just brown it a little bit. And then chop up your 1 small onion. And all this can be done to your liking. And you can pop it all over the place like I'm doing, I guess. I go back over it like this. Get them chopped nice and fine. Once you get this onion chopped nice and fine, just go ahead and add that to your browning hamburger meat, because we want these onions to soften. So we're going to get those started. I'm just going to mix those around a little bit. And I've just got this on 2 dots above low. Get that process cooking. Remember, when you're boiling pasta, it's good to keep it stirred or it will stick together, like these are trying to do. All right. So that's 1 pound of hamburger meat or Italian sausage or a mixture of both. But 1 pound of meat, 16 ounces of ziti cooked, boiled for 8 minutes. And then you're going to need 2 jars of whatever spaghetti sauce they call it you like. I don't use it for spaghetti sauce, but I do use it in my lasagna like I told you. But so I'm using Prego, and I get the traditional. You do what you want to, and you're going to need 2 jars of that. You will also need a little fresh basil, enough for about 1/4 of a cup. Fresh basil, that'll go across the top. You're going to need 1.5 cups of sour cream, and this 16 ounces will do you pretty good right there. So just get one of those. You're going to need a one half of a cup of Parmesan cheese. And you're going to need some provolone sliced cheese. We will not use all of this. And you're going to need some mozzarella sliced cheese. And we probably won't use all of this. And you are also always need spray. Because somebody's got to clean up this mess when we get done. And it ain't going to be Michael. So, we've got to spray our pans. Now, normally, this would be, put into a large casserole. It'd be great to take to well, if you're having a group over for dinner, or you have a large family, or if you're going to a potluck, that would be a great thing to take. But we're not going anywhere, and it's just me and Michael. So, or should I say Michael and myself. And so I'm going to put this in some different pans. I'm going to use a 9x9 baking dish, and then I'm going to use two of these just little throwaways, and they come with lids actually. So I'm gonna at least make one in my 9x9, and if I have extra, I'll make a second one. These you can freeze before you bake it, and then get it out. You know, if you need to take some to somebody, or if you just need some for dinner one night, and you can store that in your freezer for a few months. So that would be good. You can break it up however you want to, or not break it up at all, whatever floats your boat. This right here's about done. We are going to add the sauce to this, and I'm going to turn it up on medium so that can get good and hot. Now I personally will save this jar, and I'll show you why in a minute. So there we go on all that. Now I will save this jar. Show you why in just a minute. Let me turn off my timer, and I'll be right back. I also have my oven set preheated for 350 degrees. So let's get this ziti up. I'm going to stir this around first. It makes a big old pan full, doesn't it? All right, Ziti, let me get to my sink. Get in there and stop your cooking. That's what I say. Stop your cooking. Okay, I'll let that drain for a minute. While that is draining, and this is warming, we are going to, this is my basil. I tried to get it as fresh as I can. I don't have any fresh like in my windowsill, but I did find some fresh leaves. So I'm gonna just smells good, I'll tell you that much right now. I'll save that right there. said, I like to chop my things, whatever items I'm putting in, I like to chop them up really small. For one thing, it gets spread out throughout the recipe good. You don't want a big bite of basil leaf, do you? I don't. But boy, does it smell good. Woo-wee. Wish y'all were here to smell this. I know y'all think, what's she doing? Trying to cut herself with that knife. But you know, after you've cooked for a lot of years, you kind of know how much pain you can take. Oh, where we go now? Right there, I can hear it. Starting to boil. Starting to bubble up. I'm gonna turn that down now on just before low. And yeah, it's gonna get all over. It's gonna get all over your stovetop, but you know, we all have dish rags we can wash it up with. Not a biggie. You should see my stovetop, but anytime I'm making some kind of pasta, it's just like everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna set this out of my way. I'm gonna set this out of my way because this is going on last, along with the Parmesan. That will be last. And while I'm waiting, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with these. Because you see, after you dump them, you still have some left. So, I don't want to put 2 jars. I mean, it's in there. I'm going to get some water in this one. Now, new cooks, you got to stretch your dollars. You need to stretch your dollars. You work hard for those dollars. So I'll just get a little water in there. I just get a little bit, shake it up, and I do it at least twice. I'm going to pour it in this one. Then, the next time I make lasagna or whatever, I'll have this ready to go. And yes, after I pour it out, I'll rinse it out again with a little water. But I'll just stick that in my fridge. It's just thin down Prego sauce. Not a big deal. Going in my fridge for another day. Well, opened up the wrong door, y'all. Y'all see me struggling? No. I was trying. I don't know what to say. All right. So I'm going to get this out. I'm going to spray it. Don't forget to spray it. I'm going to go ahead and get this one out. Get this one sprayed because I know I'll at least be able to use this one. Now, what do we need to do? Well, I'm going to get rid of this thing for one thing. Put that in the sink. Let that be soaking. I need maybe I'll use this. Maybe I'll use, I'm afraid that'll scratch my pan. Bright, shiny green one, but it's made out of rubber or whatever this stuff is, and that way it won't scratch my pan. So the first thing to do is to layer in some ziti. Let's get this out of my way for a minute. I just don't have enough room to cook, y'all. I'm gonna layer some ziti. There's my ziti. Woo. do wash hands before you start cooking, don't you? I sure hope so. We're gonna layer it just like we would a, well, almost like we would a lasagna. Go ahead and get this one. Okay. All right. So we've got some noodles, some ziti noodles in there. Let me put some of these back in this one. It's kind of full. All right. Now, let's get some mozzarella slices. And lay on top. Fix it where y'all can see a little better. And then we're going to get some provolone slices. And then we are going to put, can you see that any better? Nope. That any better? Sort of. And we're going to put some of our sauce on there. My friend, I don't think I told you guys, but my friend named Kathy gave me this recipe. Well, she actually cooked it one time for us, and it was so good that we all asked her for the recipe. And she graciously gave it to us. Graciously gave it to us. All right, y'all. Now, I meant to put this in there. Let's see, we're just going to put a little on, which is the way the recipe actually calls for it, is to put it on like this. Give it a little wang with our sour cream. So I'm just going to mix that up right there because I forgot. But we don't want a big blob there. See, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Not a problem. Not a problem. I'm just going to mix this up right here. See, we can do it. We can do it. Don't get bent out of shape over cooking. Unless you're cooking for a 5-star restaurant, and then, well, you know how to do it better than us, than me. Heck, you could be cooking at a 2-star restaurant and be better than me. Now, what I meant to do, and what I'm going to do with this last cup of sour cream, is I'm going to put it right here in this mixture. Now, you don't want to do that earlier. You don't want to do it before, while you're letting it cook and everything. You want to do it last minute. Last minute. So I'm just going to set that right there so I can mix this around. Get that all mixed good. What else have I left out? Y'all know I've got issues. We've talked about it many times. Don't let issues stop you from cooking or from laughing. Just let her rip, potato chip. That's what I tell my grandkids. Let her rip, potato chip. And one of them will holler back, after a while, crocodile. Life's not all fun and games, but cooking should be, don't you think? Cooking and hanging with your kids and grandkids. Well, maybe not your kids. You got to get kind of serious when you got kids. You got to discipline and teach and all that stuff. But when you're a grandparent, oh me, that all changes. And it changes for the best. All right, that's all mixed in there. So, we're going to go back now with some more ziti. I had one jump off the plate. Get back there, ziti. All right, that's all of our ziti. Now we're going to go back with our cheese. Last time we went heavier on the mozzarella. This time I'm going to go a little heavier on the provolone. Well, that worked out perfect. Where's that doubled? Guess it's good. And then we're going to add the mozzarella. Done with all that. Now, let's go back with our sauce. Put some on this one then as we're here. need to put this in the oven for about 30 minutes. Now I will put a top on. Well, this doesn't have an oven. If I had a casserole with a oven safe lid, that's what I would use, but I don't. So I'll just put a piece of aluminum foil over this and let it cook, and then maybe the last 5 or 10 minutes I'll take it off. But about 30 minutes it'll be ready. It'll be ready until it looks like you want it to on top, because basically everything's already been cooked. Cheese has got to melt and get all in down through there. Let's scrape this pan out a little bit. Don't want to leave nothing behind, make it feel bad. Make it think it's not needed. Folks, there we have it. We have our baked ziti. We're going to pop it in the oven that's preheated to 350. Like I said, I'm going to cover it. You might be able to cook it uncovered. It's according to how you like the top of it to look. Michael likes his a little more brown. I don't like it brown at all, hardly. So we fight over that. I usually win because I'm the one cooking. But sometimes I'll just pull the foil back halfway. Then we're both happy. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do to make a happy marriage. Everybody's got to give a little. Now we're all going to take a lot, so be sure you put something back in. Oh, y'all. So there we go. And then we've got a couple that we'll clean this up a little bit. And I will probably send this to a couple of people in a day or two, see what they think, see if they like it, go from there. And you know, if you're going to take it to somebody, let me get something here. If you're going to take it to somebody and you're going to let them cook it after it gets there, then you just pop your top. You get these, and you get these shiny tops on top. You can close them up all the way around. Make sure they're good and closed. You can pop this in the refrigerator till tomorrow if you need to. Or like I said, you can pop it in the freezer and just pull it out. And on top of here, you just write 350 degrees for 30 minutes. And they'll know what they need to do with it when they get ready to eat it. And so there you go, y'all. There are 2 that we can give to others. It's nice to make a little extra, don't you think? Nice to make a little extra. Either you're going to need it someday, or you're going to have somebody run across somebody who needs it, you know, that you need to take a meal to, a little something. And you've got it. It's sitting right there in your freezer. You pop that dude out and go to town. They'll think you worked all day. You say, well, I worked one day, but I got three meals out of it. Or you can just make and put everything in these. And good grief. You'd be taking care of a lot of people's for a while. Always think about, remember guys, we got to think about how we can help others. And Don't ever think, oh, well, they don't need nothing, because if the Lord has laid them on your heart, they need it, even if they don't know it. It may not be the fact that they need a meal, but they need to know that you thought of them and brought them a meal. That can make or break somebody to know that somebody has thought of them and they brought them a meal. You know, you got a friend at work, you can even get smaller ones of these. Fix up some and drop it by their work and say, here's for your lunch. Might want to cook that one. But you can do things like that. And you should. Don't wait for a death in the family or a sickness in the family or something like that to take them something. I mean, we've got enough here. I could have made them all smaller for Michael and myself. And Lord, how many days we'll eat on that? We'll probably eat on it tonight and send the rest of it to my daughter and see how they like it. But don't wait to show somebody some love. Take something to eat. If you're making cookies, just set aside 5 or 6 and take to somebody. You don't have to stay all day. Just stop by and say, hey, I thought you might like this. And drop it off. Do something good for somebody else. And at the very same time, you will be doing something good for yourself. It's amazing how that works. But it's the way Jesus created us to care for others. Especially if you're a child of His. It's what it's all about. Loving on Him, sharing Him, and taking care of others, and hopefully bringing them to Him. Y'all have a good day. Have some ziti, baked ziti. See you later, guys. Bye. Well, y'all, welcome back to the Baked Ziti show. I forgot to put on my Parmesan cheese and my basil. Y'all, we can't do without that. So look out. Remember we had a half cup of Parmesan cheese? Oh my goodness. Have I gone insane? Yes. This whole pandemic thing and these masks and things that give me headaches actually. I just can't think straight. I've just been around this house too long because I don't like to hardly get out anymore. I mean, I go to church and stuff, but I can tell a difference in my brain. Y'all are the only thing saving my brain. And sometimes standing here talking to an iPad is just not enough. I'll put the rest of this on these other two in a minute. Sprinkle a little fresh basil. Oh, y'all, it's so funny how pathetic a person can be. I'm talking about myself. Okay, the rest of that will go in those other two also. Now we're ready. Cover that dude up. Oh, y'all. I hope you get a good laugh when you come and visit with me. I get a good laugh when you come and visit with me. I do. I love to hear the joy in laughter. And so, let her rip potato chip like I told my grandkids, you know. Let her rip potato chip. Just smile every chance you get. And just laugh. And don't go, don't be shy. Let it out. Unless you're at a solemn event. That wouldn't be so good. But if they get up there and tell a joke, I'm just saying. I don't know how solemn I can be after somebody tells a funny joke. But seriously, I love you guys. Don't forget your Parmesan and your basil. Good grief. Look at all the taste we would have missed. I love you guys. See you later. Bye.